All right. Tonight, we are going to have a great conversation about retirement planning. One of the things that I really loved to do throughout my career was retirement planning. When I left college, I actually, instead of being an engineer, I got into finance. So I came out of college 2003. One of my first opportunities was an internship with Northwestern Mutual Financial Network. It's one of the top 10 internships in the country. And that's how, I really learned about financial services. What I did in that position was, we'll go out and we'll help people with risk management, wealth accumulation, wealth distribution, just a lot of different financial planning techniques. Most of the things I was doing was insurance based. So I ended up having a life and health, and I could sell disability insurance. Nonetheless, I did very well, as a matter of fact. I was one of the top interns in the country, and I ended up flying out to get an award at the national meeting. And I'm meeting all these young people making $300,000, $400,000 a year. And I was like, man, okay, this is pretty impressive. Because my goal when I went to college was actually to make $100,000 a year as an engineer. That was my goal. And then I started playing basketball, and I went to North Carolina State. Once I started playing basketball, that's when my eyes really opened to, how much money is out here. We had a private plane. We're eating at the best restaurants. We're flying all over the world. And I was like, man, I like living like this. So anyway, I ended up taking a personal finance class in college. It was business 225, as a matter of fact. And in that class, I learned that most millionaires are self-made. On the last day of class, my professor said, if you're serious about your finances, continue to read books. So, you're in college, you got these little credit cards with like $300 limit. So I ended up going to the bookstore, and I kept hearing about Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I picked that book up, and y'all, to me, it was just a game changer. It was a paradigm shift for me. So as a matter of fact, I ended up maxing out my credit card on every single book in the series. And then, that's just where the thirst inside of me was just like, you know what? I want to make some money. I want to invest in real estate. So these were some of the things that I was interested in. The reason why I titled this How with Two Houses, and I'm actually going to mathematically prove this to you this evening. I'm going to show you how two shared living investment houses can produce more cash flow than saving $1 million in your retirement plan. And if you think about the mathematics behind that, how you doing, Marilyn? Most people, when they get ready to retire, actually the number's gone up now. I know back when I was in my 20s and 30s, the number was, you know what? I want $1 million when I retire. That was the goal. And right now, we all know that, some of y'all make pretty good income. $1 million is not going to be enough money for you to sustain your standard of living. When you talk to most financial advisors, they tell you should be pulling out 4% to make sure, you don't dip into that principal. So what's 4% off of $1 million? As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull up a calculator for you real fast. You know what? Let me share my screen before I do that. Give me one second. I'm going to share my screen with you. How do I do that? Let's go right here, share screen. All right, so now I'm sharing my screen with you. Let me pull up this calculator for you so you can actually see the numbers. Let's go over calculator. All right, so let me move this out. All right, so let's just hypothetically say, I think I can make this a little bit larger. Let's just hypothetically say that, I think that's $1 million. Is that $1 million? Is that 10 million? All right, hold on, y'all. That's 10 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's just hypothetically say that you are able to save $1 million by the time you get ready to retire, and you're only putting out 4%. Multiply this by 0.4. That's $40,000 a year you got to live off of. And of course, you're probably going to take monthly distributions. So that's $3,333. And if that money is in your retirement plan, guess what? You got to pay taxes on that. So let's just hypothetically say 20%, you're going to lose 20%. So we multiply this times 0.8. So you're living off 80% of that. So look at this. You've worked your whole life, you've sacrificed, you saved money, and you're only going to be able to pull out $2,666 every single month. That's equivalent to $1 million of cash flow. So just think about that for a moment. I want you to start considering, where are you right now when it comes to saving for retirement? How long will it take you to be able to save $1 million? And I can show you how with two houses, actually with one house sometimes, but with two houses, you can actually create more cash flow than this. So the consideration that I want you to start thinking about is, what is going to be the most efficient way for you to create financial independence for yourself? And then some of you, you're probably saying, $40,000 is not enough money. Right now, you make $100,000 a year. So if you make $100,000 a year, you need to save $2.5 million. So 2.5 times 0.4, that's 100,000. Divide this by 12, 8,333 times 0.8. Oh, hold on. I don't know why I did that. Give me a second, y'all. I think I must have divided. Let's go back. 2.5 million times 0.04. That's 100,000 divided by 12. It's 8,300 times 0.8. So that's $6,666 every single month. And I'm going to show you how within probably about 4 or 5 houses, you can have that same cash flow. So just think about how much money you have saved for retirement right now. How long will it take you to be able to save $2.5 million? I'm 43 years old right now. It would take me at least 20 or 30 years even to come close to that. And that's saving a significant amount of money. Hopefully the stock market is at a high peak, when I get ready to retire. So nonetheless, those are just some of the numbers that I wanted to demonstrate for you. So let me turn my screen back off. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, here we go. Let me stop sharing. Yeah, so these are just some of the things that I started to think about. And what I want to do now is I want to actually show you this spreadsheet that I developed that actually shows the actual mathematics of the income that you can reduce from doing this shared living investment strategy that I've been talking about so much. I'm going to share my screen again, the entire screen. All right. So check this out. So right here, this is income goal setting. This is a spreadsheet that I created. And let's just say, hypothetically, you're able to find a house with 5 bedrooms. This is single room occupancy. That means you only have one person in a room. Double room occupancy means you have 2 people in a room. And a mix means some of the rooms are 2 people, some of the rooms are 1 person. And then these are your expenses. So right here, this is the income that you can generate off of. This is probably the master bedroom or the owner's suite. So this room is going to fetch a premium because you have your own bathroom. Those are $800 a month. As you can see with double room occupancy, you're going to charge each of these individuals $650, which is $1,300 per room. And then, mix, these are $1,300, these are $800, and these are all of your expenses. When we come down here, remember, we want to have the same cash flow to generate $100,000 a year in your 401k, which we saw with our old calculator was $6,666. So we have our revenue minus our expenses. Your profit is $1,500 a month off of one house. Double room occupancy is $3,800 off of one house. And the mix is $2,800. So right here, this shows the number of houses you need. So right here is 4.44. So obviously you need 5 houses to create the equivalent of saving $2.5 million in your 401k. Double room occupancy, you only need 2 houses. And for a mix, you only need 3 houses. So I want you to start thinking about which technique do you feel will be easier for you to be able to create financial independence for yourself. And that's something, it really just hit me like a ton of bricks. A few moments ago, as I started thinking about this, I said, you know what, we're really on to something. Right now, Genevieve and I, we have 11 houses all over, the metro Atlanta area. So we far surpassed this. You got other people who are doing different type of business models where they're generating more than this, off of one house. So the possibilities are endless in terms of what you're able to do. And it's a very exciting time, to be able to be involved in a niche that's not going anywhere. And the best part I'll tell you about this is not going anywhere. People are always going to need a safe, clean, affordable place to stay. And that's what I love the most about this business model. If you want to help people, you can help people. In a lot of our houses, we're working with a lot of at-risk populations. We have mental health, domestic violence. We've had HIV. We've had just so many different types of demographics in our houses, and as a result, we get tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of referrals. And I'm actually utilizing this vehicle as a way to build, wealth for my children as well. So the cash flow from this particular type of niche is something that it continues to grow and continues to compound. And here's the best part about it, y'all. You don't even have to own the real estate. Some of the houses we own, some of them we just lease. We just get a lease on a house and we sublease it, by renting out the rooms. And like I said, there's all different types of demographics that you can work with. Some do veterans, some do people reentry, some do individuals who are elderly. So that's totally up to you in terms of what demographic that you're going to specialize in. And then some, you may not want to work with any at-risk populations. You just do people who go to work every single day. Working class can be very profitable as well. So each of our houses kind of has its own culture. So we have the different populations at those different locations. I'm here located in Atlanta, Georgia. And then, like I said, we're just rocking and rolling right now. I probably have about 13 students who have actually acquired houses. So that's been a blessing right there. And, if this is something that you're interested in, make sure you shoot me a message. Right now we're streaming on Instagram, YouTube, as well as Facebook. Shoot me a message. Just shoot me a message. Let's have a conversation about, how you can get started with this unbelievable business opportunity. Another thing that I'm excited about is we're actually having a conference coming up. The one in Charlotte is coming up April 12th and 13th, if I'm not mistaken. So that one's sold out. Then the next one's going to be in Atlanta. That's going to be May 17th and 18th. If you're interested in tickets, make sure you join this popular Facebook group. It's a real large Facebook group. It's called Group Homes for Newbies. And then go to that URL if you're interested in purchasing a ticket. It's www.grouphomesfornewbies.com. And then there, I have speakers that are coming in, and you're going to really learn the ins and outs of how to run this business. If you want to have some more individualized help or whatever, I'll be happy to guide you along how we go about doing this. Because this business, despite where you are financially, this is something that you're able to do, and you can create a good income for yourself. Because even, let's just hypothetically say you only get one house a year. Over the next 6 years, you can create a foundation to where you do have, complete financial independence, which is exciting. And then this may not even be something that you're just totally in love with, but this can be a vehicle which is going to allow you to transition to doing the things that you really enjoy doing. For myself, I have some other niches and some other business endeavors that I'm looking to do. But right now I'm using this to set the foundation for what it is that I'm looking to do for a long time. Each of my children, giving each of them a house to produce cash flow for them as well. So this can be something that you can do to allocate, towards pretty much anything that you're looking to do. So right now, let's see, we have a couple people up here. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Because I'm not going to be up here too long tonight. I'm just going to answer a couple questions, and then we're going to go ahead on and disengage, and then, I'll be back on live tomorrow. And also in the comments, just let me know if there's any other particular topics, you would like for me to talk about. And then if you're watching a replay, just put replay down in the comments also for some of those who haven't joined us live. Let's see. So, all right. So I don't see any questions right now. But like I said, this is going to be a short live. And make sure you continue to tune in. I'm going to try to do these a lot more often and be consistent with it. That's something that I promised myself that I would do. But I will talk with y'all. It'll probably be tomorrow, tomorrow evening. If y'all need anything or whatever, just hit me up, and then we'll go from there. Peace.